takes it in overtime. Brady can cut, breakaway shoots, scores!
Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brandon, and I am your host tonight. Ottawa took on the Montreal Canadiens in a must-win game. After last night's 4-0 loss to the Carolina Hurricanes, Ottawa desperately needs the 2 points against a team like the Canadiens, who are below them in the standings. Ottawa, with a win today, would find themselves only 5 points out of the final wildcard spot, with 2 games on Monday and Tuesday against the Detroit Red Wings, another team they're chasing in the standings. It's needless to say, this is a must-win game for the Ottawa Senators if they want to remain in the playoff conversation. Now, Ottawa as well is looking to go 4-0 against the Canadiens this season for the sweep for the first time in franchise history. They've never swept the Canadiens in a full season. Let's see if they can do so tonight. As well, Mark Haslick returns from Belleville, with Ridley Gregg being sent down to Belleville in a corresponding move. So let's go to the first period of play. Matt Søgaard is the starting goaltender for your Ottawa Senators, and early on, he is playing fantastic. Ottawa's getting walked on by the Montreal Canadiens. Both teams played last night. The Canadiens took down the Philadelphia Flyers 5-2 yesterday, so there's no excuse. Both teams are playing back-to-back situations. Both had to fly in to Montreal the same day, so Ottawa starting off so slow, there's no excuse for it. It's back-to-back games where Ottawa has started off slow, and in meaningful games like this, where the playoffs are frankly on the line, you can't have that. But Matt Søgaard, just like Cam Talbot the other day, did his best to keep Ottawa in it, and he did. No goals, and then with about 5 minutes left in the first period of play, guess what? Ottawa, they somehow break through and get the first one of the day. Nick Holden from the point takes a shot off Kastelik's face-off win, and Derek Brassard tips it out front. In game number 997 in his NHL career, he puts it in. 1-0 Ottawa on Derek Brassard's tip out front. What a goal there. His 9th of the season. What a story Derek Brassard has been. Frankly, no one thought he was going to be a part of the roster going into this year. He signs on a PTO, impresses in camp, impresses in the preseason, gets that 1-year contract, and has easily been Ottawa's best and most consistent player in their bottom 6. Huge goal for Ottawa. After 20 minutes of play, the Senators somehow lead 1-0. We go to the second period of play, and the Canadiens strike, and they kind of take control of the game here in the second period of play. 5 minutes in, Matt Søgaard makes a stop, but the rebound drops right out front of him. Thomas Chabot does not box out Matheson, who beats him to the net and ties the game here at 1 apiece. He puts home the rebound over the right shoulder, tie game 1-1. And this is a goal where, yeah, maybe Matt Søgaard should have had better, rebound control. But Thomas Chabot cannot let a guy walk to the net like that. I mean, you have to box him out. You have to push him to the outside. Just absolutely unbelievable how Chabot just let him walk right in and results in a goal. Tie game 1-1. A couple minutes later, Nick Suzuki sprung on a breakaway. He dekes and beats Søgaard. Suddenly, the Canadiens have the lead. It's 2-1. And frankly, it's not shocking that this happened. Ottawa was getting dominated. They were lucky to even be up by 1 at some point in this first half of the game. And look, Ottawa got what they deserved. The Canadiens were absolutely dominating midway through the second period of play. After that Suzuki goal, Ottawa gave up 3 or 4 odd-man rushes for the Canadiens. It's frankly a miracle that Matt Søgaard made some big stops and the Canadiens didn't capitalize on those chances, because that middle of the second period really could put the Ottawa Senators and their entire season, frankly, away. But luckily, Matt Søgaard makes some big stops. Ottawa keeps this a 1-goal game, and they only had 6 shots. Midway through the game. It's unacceptable in such a huge game like this. The season on the line, playoffs on the line, everything you've quote-unquote fought for. Frankly, this is the biggest game of the season, and the Senators are coming out flat. 6 shots in the first 30 minutes of play. It's an absolute embarrassment. But guess what? A couple minutes after midway point of the game, 13 minutes into the second period of play, Alex DeBrincat drives to the net. A great move there. Couldn't put it in, but he finds Shane Pinto out front. He feeds it to him, and Pinner puts it home. We are tied again. It's 2-2, and Ottawa, on 9 shots, has 2 goals. Both past Montembeault, and the Senators tied again. It's 2-2. Can't believe it. How is Ottawa in this game? The first 30 minutes, or frankly 40 minutes of this game, the Montreal Canadiens absolutely dominated, but somehow, some way, Canada's team, the Ottawa Senators, tied it at 2, going into the third period of play, the biggest third period of the season. Ottawa has a chance to win this one, and to win this one in regulation. A beautiful pass here from Meow Man, Alex DeBrincat, and Shane Pinto. Huge goal there, tying it up at 2 apiece. So let's go to the third period of play. And I don't know if DJ Smith said something to the boys in the locker room, or it was Claude Giroux or Brady Tkachuk or whatever, but the boys were clearly fired up in the second intermission because of this third period of play. Ottawa absolutely lit up the lamp and dominated. 5 minutes in, Travis Hamonic takes a big slap shot from the point. Austin Watson tips it home to give Ottawa the lead again. It's 3-2 Senators off a beautiful tip out front from Austin Watson. Maybe even a better celly there. Ottawa leads 3-2 on Watson's 5th of the year and his first in 16 games. A massive goal there for Austin Watson, who's looked really good in back-to-back games. Ottawa leads by a goal again. It's 3-2. 47 seconds later, Drake Batherson on a nice odd man rush for the Ottawa Senators with a toe drag, rips it top shelf past Sam Montembeault, and Ottawa extends their lead. It's 4-2, and suddenly Ottawa looks to be in the driver's seat as Drake Batherson rips it on a beautiful shot, and as well, Matt Søgaard with the secondary assist on this goal has his first career NHL point. So shout out to Matt Søgaard, friend of the show, on your first career NHL point on the secondary assist. And Ottawa leads 4-2 in the biggest game of the season. They're coming to play here in the third. And then later on in the third period of play, for good insurance, Julien Gauthier on a 2-on-1 rips it top shelf. Ottawa leads 5-2. A dominant third period of play as Gauthier scores his first as an Ottawa Senator. 7th of the year as well for him. Ottawa leads by 3. It's 5-2 Senators. And after they only had 6 shots midway through the game, Ottawa somehow, someway, in this third period, with the season on the line, with the playoffs on the line, with everything on the line, they find a way. They come back when it looked like they were out. They come back. They claw their way back into this one. They take the lead. They take an insurance goal, and they put the dagger in the hearts with that 5th goal and that third of the third period as the Ottawa Senators take down the Montreal Canadiens 5-2 in a must-win. Ottawa with a huge victory over Les Habitants, the Montreal Canadiens, and Ottawa is only 5 points out of the final wildcard spot with 2 wins against Detroit next week. Ottawa can only be 1 point out of a playoff spot. Can you believe it? After a disastrous November, Ottawa somehow is right back in the thick of the playoff conversation, and the playoffs are absolutely on the table for this team. And I mean, yeah, look, Ottawa in the first 40 minutes, not inspiring to say the least, but that doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it's how you finish, not how you start. And the Ottawa Senators today finished fantastically. Last game, they had no finish, no goals. Tonight, exploded for 5, especially in that third period with 3. Very, very clutch. Ottawa, huge victory, 5-2 over the Montreal Canadiens as they sweep the season series. They take down the Canadiens all 4 times they played them this season. That is 4 wins in a row against them this season. For the first time in franchise history, they've beaten the Canadiens in all the games they've played against them in a season. As well, this win, as I just said, will only put Ottawa 5 points out of the final wildcard spot. Huge. Cannot say it enough. Huge victory. Now you have to take care of business against Detroit next week. A couple of things here. Firstly, in the game notes, the depth showed up tonight. I mean, frankly, we needed a game like this for quite some time from our depth players, and tonight they carried. Travis Hamonic, Nick Holden, they got some apples from the blue line tonight, created some goals there for the Senators. Watson, Brassard, Gauthier, all got on the board. And look, like I said before, Derek Brassard came out of nowhere this year and has been, frankly, Ottawa's best bottom 6 player. But as well, Gauthier, since being traded here for the Rangers, has looked fantastic. Every game making an impact. And tonight really made a huge impact with the dagger to make it 5-2 there. His first as an Ottawa Senator. And Watson, look, he's looked good the last couple games. Yesterday looked good as well, as I mentioned. Today, again, looked good. With a goal, some good electricity. Got into a fight, even won the fight. Really good game there for Watson as well. But very impressed by Ottawa's depth tonight. Kaslik as well looked good in his return to the lineup. Just, once again, as I mentioned yesterday, Ottawa cannot rely always on Tkachuk and Stützle and Giroux and Chabot to carry the team. Okay, they just can't. They need to have the depth once in a while chip in, and more importantly, maybe even win them a game. And tonight, they won them the game, no doubt about it. Speaking of winning them the game, Matt Søgaard, another big reason the Senators won this one. 29 stops tonight, just another huge victory there for Matt Søgaard, his 3rd W on the season, and he's definitely the future net for your Ottawa Senators. I have no doubt about that. Once again, of course, a little biased as he's in front of the show, but I mean, Watch him in the crease. You're telling me this guy's not potentially the future of the Ottawa Senators? He looks so calm in there, so positionally sound. He's looked fantastic, and he's really settled down the boys in the back end. And more importantly, every single game he's played, Ottawa frankly started off terribly, and he really forced them back into it with some big stops early on in those games. So Søgaard, big reason Ottawa won this game, kept it close, kept them in it, and more importantly, when it looked like they were down and out, made some huge stops midway through the game, midway through that second period of play. So shout out to Matt Søgaard and the entirety of the depth here for your Ottawa Senators. Some big performances from the depth guys for sure. Now, like I mentioned already a couple times, Monday and Tuesday against Detroit are must-win games. You have to win those. Detroit is a team you're frankly chasing. They're just behind Buffalo for that final wildcard spot. You have to win 2 of those games, both in regulation. So Sens fans, you better pack the CTC on Monday and Tuesday. I'll be there in the press box for Monday's game, so stay tuned for some post-game coverage and a nice little dapper suit for that one. But once again, huge games. Frankly, that back-to-back on Monday and Tuesday is a mini playoff series. Biggest games Ottawa has played in years, and it's thanks to tonight's victory. So Sens fans, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. It's a massive victory. I am absolutely fired up. Going to that third period of play, I thought Ottawa was down and out. I didn't care if it was tied. They were playing terribly. But that third period of play has really spiked some confidence right back into me, and really hope this positive momentum can carry over into Monday's game. So we'll see. I'll see you all then. But once again, a massive victory tonight for your Ottawa Senators. The playoffs are very much back in the picture. So I'll see you all on Monday. Go Sens, go.